First up, we'll talk about what the Union Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad said a short while back, giving out a big statement on another delay that has taken place in the Ayodhya hearing. He says that the court must hear the case at the earliest. And joining us live at this point in time, good afternoon to you, Dr. Subramanian Swamy, joining us here on Republic TV. Thank you very much, sir, for giving us your time. First up, sir, I would like to ask you in a quick few questions what Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad has said. He said that I'm not saying it as a minister, but as a citizen, I want the hearing to take place as soon as possible. There are other hearings that have been taken by the top court, but why not the Ayodhya case?
Well, he's right about the fact that it's taken so long to get to any, we are still far away from a court-directed finality. But let me also remind the minister that for 7 years after it was brought in appeal in the Supreme Court, nobody raised this issue of fixing a date. It was my petition on writ petition which Justice K.R. Singh as Chief Justice fixed the date. And there was no government till then. So part of the responsibility for delay is due to the fact that the government did not take any interest in fixing a date after coming to power in 2014. Now, second is that this present hearing of the Supreme Court also is something where the government Solicitor General wanted it restricted to the question of title. And therefore my petition on writ petition had to move to another bench, which I have not yet got listed. I don't think that this particular hearing of 5 judges, whether it's delayed or not, is going to have any effect on the question of building a temple. If our law minister, who's a very fine man, is a very able man, if he goes to the Prime Minister and tells him that let the court take as much time for title as possible, but under Article 300A we have the eminent domain of taking over any land in the public interest. We have already taken it over in 1993. It's in our custody. And because of what Mr. Narasimha Rao said, and the Supreme Court recorded that statement without making any comments, so we stand by the cabinet resolution of the Narasimha Rao government, as all future governments are, and hand over the land today without any delay to the Vishwanda Parishad, for example, or any other organization they would prefer, and start the construction. And when the Supreme Court decides the title, we'll give compensation as per Article 300A. That's the solution. And to say that we are waiting for the Supreme Court, either lack of knowledge of the law or it is an excuse.
But sir, do you believe that the government is under tremendous pressure, or is Ravi Shankar Prasad speaking out like a politician or like a union minister? Because there has been calls and pressure has been building up from all sides. Or is it just another call that has been made when the Mandir issue, we see it time and again being raised when the elections are near?
Well, there's no point in being cynical about it. If you take a vote in the parliamentary party today, they will vote 90% for immediate building of the temple. I've tested it in another matter, the cow ban, where I brought a private member's bill, and despite a party whip to vote against my thing because it was not an official bill, the members all decided to vote for me, and ultimately the Parliamentary Affairs Minister had to request me to withdraw that bill, which I withdrew on the promise that they will bring another bill on officially. The same way I'm telling you on the question of Ram Mandir building, it's a matter of sentiment, and it's a deeply felt sentiment. It's almost now going to be 500 years, 70 years since our independence. How long are you going to wait? And if BJP, which has said we didn't have majority, got the majority and has not done it, there will be a revolt of the public against our party. So everybody who wants our party's welfare wants Ram Mandir's construction to start from today.
But what about the political statements that are made by various people in different political parties, Dr. Swamy? Because there will be hearing that will take time. I mean, the first up, when the court decides on the next day, they will see what the timeline is, whether or not there is a day-to-day hearing that is required. It will still take time.
What is that got to do? No, please. No, please, please just pay attention to what I'm saying. That hearing which is going on in the Supreme Court has no relevance whatsoever except to decide who owns the land. And I'm telling you that the government already owns the land and it has what is called as eminent domain. Even your land, your house can be taken over the government if they can show there's a public interest and you pay adequate compensation. So when Supreme Court decides 20 years from now or 200 years from now, we will give compensation to whoever they say has got the title for the land. But as far as today is concerned, government has taken over the land, and as Narasimha Rao said, that because there was a pre-existing temple, we will hand over the land to the Hindus.
So, Dr. Swamy, what's taking the government so long? Because if you're saying that there is a solution in sight, what's taking the government so long? And will that be or not acceptable to all parties?
Well, I don't know. Because even on my Supreme Court petition, where the Supreme Court has asked the government whether you are going to declare Ram Setu as a national heritage monument as per the Archaeological Sites, Ancient Sites and Archaeological Remains Act. They have not done it. There is no masjid there. There is no church there to worry about. And yet they have not done it. I don't know what the reason is. It could be a variety of things, that maybe the government thinks that only Vikas matters and nothing else matters. And if we do Vikas properly, people will be with us anyway. I don't know what the reason is, or they are timid. I don't know which is the reason. But it is for the government to tell us why they are not doing what I'm saying I'm doing. I said can be done.
Well, will you appeal to the government once again, sir? Because we are hearing two different statements. Because from one side, we hear from the Prime Minister that ordinance so far not the way forward. We'll wait for the legal procedures to be completed. On the other side, we hear from Ravi Shankar Prasad saying that the sentiments do matter a lot and the hearing must happen at the earliest.
No, the Prime Minister actually said on the context of ordinance, I agree that you don't need an ordinance. I don't think you need anything. You got the land, give it away for building the temple, and tell the court that when you decide the title, we will give compensation. The land does not belong to anybody except the people of India. So there's no difference between the Prime Minister and the Prime Minister. The only question is the Prime Minister says there's too much delay. That I agree. The Prime Minister is silent on that.
But what about the other side? So let's talk about the opposition as well, because Harish Rawat had gone on to say that the Ram Mandir sirf Congress party
What other side? There is
hai.
no other side.
No, sir, talking about the opposition party is there, sir, because now you have how politically hot that this issue is become.
No, if Narasimha Rao had lasted another term, he would have built it. If Rajiv Gandhi had lasted another term, he would have built it. That I can tell you from personal knowledge, because I worked with them. And in fact, Chandrasekhar's government was with the help of the Rajiv Gandhi, and I worked with Rajiv Gandhi very closely during the time he was Prime Minister. He was entirely committed to building the Ram Temple, and he made a commitment to Devriya Baba, one of the sadhus, famous sadhus, that he would do it if he comes back to power again. Unfortunately, he didn't come back because those nasty bunch of people called the LTT killed him. So Narasimha Rao would also done it, and I had a minister rank position in his government. He told me personally, I drafted it, many things that he wanted, and he wrote me a letter of thanks also officially. So if the Congress say that Congress would have built it, yes, I agree, these two would have built it. But whether this kind of wimps that are today in the Congress party, they will build it, I doubt it. They are too much under foreign pressure.
But sir, thereafter many governments have come and gone, sir. Do you think that there is a requirement of a political will that needs to be done so that you have the Ram Mandir construction happening ASAP? Because again, it will be a part of the manifesto. Even as Kapil Sibal was during the hearing was saying that the Ram Mandir construction should be delayed, the hearing should be delayed post 2019 general elections.
Well, he can wish all that he wants. I don't mind if the title issue that is presently before, they can delay 20 years. I don't mind. But the fact is, action for the government today is on the basis of the land which is in their possession. They should hand it over to the sadhus or to the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, whoever they want to, and say, start the construction. This all prefabricated material is lying there in the Vishwa Hindu Parishad Karyalayya in Ayodhya. It can be used in a very short time. We can build a Ram Mandir structure.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, Dr. Swamy, for giving us your time here on Republic TV and speaking at length. What is your idea when it comes to ending the delay, the 70-year-long delay legally that we have seen in the Ram Mandir issue?